In 1977, two very strange sounds were recorded deep in the ocean. Their frequency was very low, but their amplitude was enormous. These sounds were detected by the radars of the U.S. Atmospheric Administration. Surprisingly, the same sounds were also recorded 5,000 kilometers away by other radars. After calculations, it was determined that these sounds originated in a highly remote area of the South Pacific Ocean. At the time, these sounds were named the Blue, and research began to uncover their source. It was clear that these sounds must have been generated by something enormous. However, nothing of the sort was found in this part of the ocean. For many years, people speculated that a massive mythical creature might reside under this part of the ocean. But in 2012, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, revised its stance, claiming that the sounds recorded in 1977 were caused by glacial movements, specifically the shifting of glaciers. Yet, the true explanation remains unknown to this day. The point where these sounds were recorded has become the site of a very unique operation today.
At this exact location in the South Pacific Ocean lies a section of the sea surrounded by thousands of kilometers of ocean with no land in sight. This place is known as the Oceanic Pole of Inaccessibility, or Point Nemo. The nearest landmass to Point Nemo is about 2,688 kilometers away and is part of Antarctica, making it practically inaccessible. The nearest populated land is the coast of Chile, which is 3,334 kilometers away, and New Zealand, which lies 4,700 kilometers away. For this reason, Point Nemo is considered the most remote and desolate place on Earth. It's so isolated that the closest humans to this location are not on land, but in the International Space Station, which passes 400 kilometers above Point Nemo once or twice a day. Despite being cut off from the world, Point Nemo serves an important purpose. Beneath this part of the ocean lie the remnants of human-made inventions, such as satellites, spacecraft, and rocket debris. But one question arises: where were satellites disposed of before Point Nemo was discovered? Why is it necessary to dispose of satellites in the first place? And most importantly, how are satellites precisely guided to Point Nemo? Point Nemo spans a vast area of 22 million square kilometers in the South Pacific Ocean. This area is so large that it could fit the entire country of Russia, with enough space left over to fit 5 countries the size of Egypt. However, no humans inhabit this region, and even underwater, very few marine creatures can survive. Researchers believe that the conditions here are too challenging for most sea life. Point Nemo is located in a very remote and deep part of the South Pacific Ocean. The water here is cold, and there are almost no nutrients due to the oceanic currents. These currents prevent nutrient-rich water from flowing into this area. The ocean depth at Point Nemo is approximately 3,700 meters, 12,100 feet, where sunlight cannot penetrate. Without sunlight, photosynthesis cannot occur, making survival difficult for most sea life. The creatures that do live here are extreme deep-sea organisms, like squids and bioluminescent fish. In 1992, a Canadian engineer discovered Point Nemo using mathematical calculations. This place is so remote that even the person who discovered it has never visited it. 9 years later, in 2001, the Russian Space Agency first used this location as a satellite graveyard. Since Point Nemo lies in international waters, no country owns it, allowing space agencies worldwide to dispose of their space objects here without permission. On March 23, 2001, the Russian space station Mir, which had been operational for 15 years, was decommissioned and deliberately crashed into Point Nemo. After Mir, other space agencies also began using this location for spacecraft disposal. Over the past 23 years, this graveyard has grown to include the debris of over 260 spacecraft, and soon, the International Space Station is also set to be buried here. NASA has announced that the ISS will be decommissioned by 2030. Satellites and spacecraft are built with extreme precision and cost millions of dollars. Despite this, they are not designed to last forever. Like other products with expiration dates, space objects also have a lifespan. After their expiration, it becomes crucial to deorbit them to prevent uncontrolled crashes. The process of guiding satellites to Point Nemo involves activating their thrusters at specific times and positions. These calculations are made with great precision by engineers to ensure the debris falls into the ocean safely, avoiding any populated areas. Point Nemo, derived from the Latin word meaning no one, is fittingly named because neither humans nor most marine life exist there. Even ships avoid this location due to its remoteness. Reaching Point Nemo and conducting underwater research here remains a dream for the scientific community, but perhaps one day the mysteries of the strange sounds recorded in 1977 will be uncovered. Ships tend to avoid locations like Point Nemo because, in the event of an emergency, help is nearly impossible to reach quickly. If you were to get stranded at Point Nemo, it would take a ship approximately 2 weeks to arrive. There are only a handful of helicopters worldwide, like the Sikorsky S-92, the Westland AW-101, and the Lockheed Martin 571, capable of covering the 3,000-kilometer distance required to reach Point Nemo. Even then, there's no guarantee they could make the return trip due to fuel constraints. Reaching Point Nemo and conducting underwater research, there is a dream for the scientific community. It is hoped that one day research will be conducted at this location, potentially uncovering the mystery of the strange sounds recorded in 1977. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next exciting video.